Hi guys, so I'm now making a variety of custom display cases for your Warhammer, D&D, Necromunda, BloodBowl, AOS and all those other kind of games that obviously require miniatures. And yeah, I'm making a variety of these now to obviously suit the miniatures that, that they hold. As you can see, I've got a variety of display cases here. These are all available now over on eBay. And the Orc one, as you can see here, this is, you get the Orcs with the display case, and the same with the Stormtroopers. But the other one I haven't put on yet. So yeah, these display cases, I'm going to obviously be printing bits out, and I'm printing out on my Mars Pro 3D printer. Yeah, lovely little printer. Get all the pieces I need in one go, which is really nice. As you can see, I've got them all on here. Yeah, they're all got supports on. So these bits, I can't really link where I've got these from, because these are, well, a whole variety of parts, basically from all over the place. I've adapted them, changed them, and then obviously stuck them on supports. So I've had the Elegoo Mars Pro for a good couple of months now. Lovely printer. Don't really get any failures. Like I always sort of say, most of the failures, if I get any, it's because of the supports. And generally this is where I've messed about putting supports in. But yeah, as you can see, the supports have come out pretty good. I'm looking at getting the right sort of software so I can do some nice time lapses. As you can see, all the parts have come out really well. I was a little bit concerned when I put some of them quite near each other, but yeah, no, they've all come out really well. So it's just a case now of obviously scraping them off of this, and then they will need to go in a wash and cure sort of station. So yeah, obviously for this bit I do wear gloves, as this stuff, well, it's not good for you. So yeah, I put these supports on these myself. Well, I say I put them on. Obviously the software that you come with it, you can do the supports and then go in and add any or take any away. So yeah, fortunately they've all come out really nice, which is really good. And as I say, these display cases are available to buy over on eBay. Plus, if you message me, I can make them to sort of suit your needs. So say this one I've printed out, and it's going to be able to sort of hold 10 miniatures. But a lot of the kill teams that I like to play, obviously there's 6 in a kill team. So I can change these to be 6 people, which is where I say obviously these are lovely and customizable. But I'm also looking at making some, so these have got like 2 levels, 2 rows of sort of 5 people. I'm looking at making some new or some different sort of display cases where I can get sort of 15 or more miniatures, which would be pretty cool. So yeah, so guys, if you're interested in getting one of these display cases, then yeah, by all means send me a message. So this video is sponsored by Elegoo, as they sent me this wash and cure station as well as some resin for me to obviously be able to print out and make these things. But guys, whenever I am sponsored to do any kind of video, I'm never told what to say. So anything I do say about any kind of product is my own thoughts and feelings on how I get on with it. Obviously I was going to try and sort of film this thing working, but obviously it's spinning round, but there's nothing to really sort of see there. So yeah, so it goes in the wash station with some isopropyl alcohol in there. That obviously cleans off any resin. And then it goes into this sort of UV light chamber, and this obviously just hardens the plastic. So yeah, these wash and cure stations are pretty good. I mean, you can get by without using one. They just make things a whole lot easier, because when this is doing its own business, I'm off obviously painting, well, more miniatures. And there we go, so all the bits have come out really nice. Nice bit of detail in all these bits. I say guys, I really can't sort of link where I got these bits from, as these are from all over the place. And I say I have kind of like messed about, chopped them up and changed them about. So yeah, the display box itself, this is obviously just MDF, it's 3mm, and I cut this on the Creality Falcon 2 laser cutter, which I did do a video of that about a week ago, so go check that out. And then it's simply a case of making sure everything fits, which, well, it should do. I did try and measure it out correct, and then yeah, it's just going to get glued down. But you may have seen, guys, that obviously I have got a lovely Army Painter sort of cutting mat, and I really don't want to get it dirty, and I know it will get dirty eventually, but I want to try and keep it as clean as I can for as long as I can. So I've got another little cutting mat which I'm going to use to, well, try and protect the bigger cutting mat. Yeah, it's a little bit sad, but I say I just love this big Army Painter cutting mat, and I want to keep it nice and nice and clean. So these display cases are a pretty cool way of obviously, well, keeping the miniatures all together. I say, for me, storage is quite an issue. So the other good thing about these display cases, and that is you can stack them on top of each other. which is pretty cool. So again, I'm going to be making a variety of these, as I have got a couple of Blood Bowl teams. So again, that's why I'm looking at, obviously, say these have got like 2 levels on them. I am looking at making some deeper ones with 3 levels, just to accommodate, obviously, well, a lot more miniatures. So say these ones work well with a maximum of about 10 miniatures, and these are on 32mm bases. But obviously, if they're smaller bases, then yeah, you could certainly get more than sort of 10 on these ones. So clearly my calculations on the sizes were a little bit off here and there, so there was a few gaps. So I filled that in with a good old grout. Obviously in the UK we call it grout. I believe in America is it spackle or speckle. Yeah, it's the stuff that you use to sort of put on wall tiles. But obviously it's great in my case for just sort of filling gaps here and there. And obviously this is kind of more of a sort of a ramshackle orc sort of building. So that's why I'm going with lots of these little greebly bits that are kind of like little orc stuff. So that's another good thing with these kind of little display cases. I will be making a whole variety of sort of looks. So say at the moment I've got sort of a spaceship interior, and then this one is obviously, well, like a ramshackled interior of, well, something where orcs would possibly build things, I guess. But yeah, I'm going to be looking at making a variety of things. So yeah, guys, let me know in the comments. You'll be able to help me out here. What sort of style or look or feel of kind of display cases should I have a go at making? So I'm going to try and theme them around whatever the kill team or the team that I'm putting them in is. Just because obviously it make them sort of stand out even better. So yeah, starting off, obviously good old primed in black. Now a good old bit of dry brushing, and I've got some silver on here, just to obviously, well, I want to give it obviously the metallic sort of look. Although I will be trying out some new rust on this soon. I don't know if you guys have heard of it, well you probably have. Dirty Down Rust. I only sort of came across it a couple of weeks ago, and it just looked amazing. I do love rusty effects and making things look, well, grungy, dirty and all the rest of it. So yes, I can't wait to give that a go. But obviously you'll be able to see shortly how that sort of is applied, how it comes out, and well, how easy it was to actually use, to be honest. So I'm going to paint some of the panels in this green. But yeah, I don't want it to look obviously too nice and neat. So I've taken an old brush, I've cut off the bristles, and I've stuck on a bit of sponge. As yeah, I'm going to do a bit of the old sort of sponging, stippling, whatever effect it is. So I've got my paint, it's reasonably watered down. And yeah, I'm just going to go over doing this sort of like stippling effect, let it dry, and then do sort of like another couple of layers over the top, just to sort of get that inconsistency in the paint. So some parts look like they're more worn than others. And yes, I definitely want it to look like the paint has sort of like, well, come off basically. So yes, I'm doing all this first, a bit of colour to it, and so then I'll be doing the rust effect at the end. So it didn't take long to dry, and then yeah, just going over and giving it, I think I did about 2, 3, maybe even 4 sort of times in certain areas. Again, just to make some areas look obviously more greener than the rest. And this is where I love painting orc stuff. They do seem to have a lot more sort of vibrant colours. That's obviously why I'm using a nice sort of light green here, as well as using some red. Also you're going to use some yellow and some blue. They seem to be sort of like the 4 main colours that you always see on well, any kind of orc stuff. So yeah, good old green, red, blue and yellow. As I do want this to obviously look like the paint has sort of chipped away. Again, yeah, I'm not sort of painting these bits properly. I am just sort of like dabbing the paint on just here and there, just to give it that effect that yeah, some of the paint has sort of rubbed off. This does make for a nice, fun, easy way of painting, as well you don't really have to concentrate too much. Again, I think this is another reason why I just love orcs so much, because you don't have to be too neat or precise. So yeah, good old rust effect. This, I've been watching a few videos on this, and one of the main things about it is you need to sort of give it a good old shake and warm it up. So yeah, it's got a metal ball in it. I've been shaking it for quite a while. I took the lid off, gave it a bit of a stir. And the other thing I found out with this is you really need whatever you're painting to be warm as well. Everyone uses a hairdryer, but obviously if you've seen a picture of me, you'll know I've not used a hairdryer since, well, the 80s. So yeah, I've got the heat gun that I was using. So I gave it a little blast with that, and with the bottle, I, well, yeah, after shaking it, I was kind of like holding it in my hand for a little bit. So yeah, I put it in this little pot holder just so I don't spill that. And And yeah, I've seen a few videos in this, and it is a case of just slapping it on. You can be as thick as you want in areas or as thin as you want in other areas. Again, it all just makes it look nice and natural if you're not too precise and too neat. So yeah, this stuff went on really well. Again, I think it obviously helped the fact that it was shaken properly. It was kind of warmish, and obviously what I'm painting on was warmish, so it did really flow really well. And yeah, as soon as I started using it, it just looked like this thing was going to look a rust bucket afterwards, which yeah, which obviously is what I wanted. I wanted this thing to look, well, down and dirty, just like the rust, although the rust is dirty down rust. Yeah, guys, I will be leaving links in the description to all the products and things that I use. So yeah, go check that out. Obviously, there will be links there to the dirty down rust, as well as to Elegoo Mars Pro 3D printer, as well as the Creality Falcon 2 laser cutter. And yeah, and anything else I use, links in the description. So it only took a few minutes for it to actually dry, and yeah, I'm really pleased with how it came out. And brushing it downwards definitely gave it sort of like streak effects, which is just awesome. So the one last thing I wanted to do, and that was just do a little bit of dry brushing, just sort of catch the edges, just to make them look like they were sort of worn away, and you could see the metal from underneath. So yeah, a very dry brush here. There's hardly anything on my brush, so I am brushing quite hard, and it literally is just hitting raised areas. Okay, so let's see some lovely glamour shots of, well, of this rust bucket display case. And there we go, a great custom display case for, well, any of the Warhammer, Necromunda, BloodBowl, AOS, D&D miniatures. Obviously in this case I'm just going to plop these lovely orcs in here. I've just bought another orc box set of these guys, as this set is currently, well, it's currently on eBay at the moment. So yeah, I'm going to be repainting some new orcs. So these are the first orcs I ever painted using the slapchop style technique. So it'd be great to, well, to sort of see if I can improve on how I painted these bad boys. Don't forget to check out all the links down below to all the products I've used. Just want to say a big shout out and thank you to all my lovely patrons, as well as Chaos Cards, for helping support the channel. It really does mean so much to me. And if you're interested in buying anything that I make, don't forget to check out the eBay link down below to, well, yeah, everything I am trying to sell so I can buy more stuff. Okay guys, you take care. Bye for now.